Muslima Sumaradsak, Group 3 Reporters, BS Ed Science 1A. Our topic is all about solar system and satellites. The solar system is the sun and all the objects that orbit around it. It includes the planets and their moons, as well as numerous asteroids and comets. Our planetary system is named solar system because our sun is named Sol after the Latin word for sun, solis, and everything related to the sun we call solar. In our solar system, we have the 9 planets. The first one is the Mercury. Mercury is the smallest planet in our solar system. It's a little bigger than Earth's moon, and this planet is closest to the sun. Mercury is the fastest planet in our solar system, traveling through space at nearly 29 miles, 47 kilometers per second. This planet is rocky, also known as terrestrial planet. Mercury has a solid, cratered surface, much like the Earth's moon, and had no moon. Next is Venus. Venus is the second planet from the sun and is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. As the brightest natural object in Earth's night sky after the moon, Venus has been called Earth's twin because of the similarities in their masses, sizes, and densities, and their similarities, relative locations in the solar system. Although the planet is the second closest planet to the sun, it's by far the hottest of the 8 worlds in our solar system. Its thick atmosphere is mostly made of carbon dioxide with clouds of sulfuric acid, which traps the sun's heat and creates a runaway greenhouse effect. The next is Earth. Earth is a rocky planet with solid and dynamic surface of mountains, canyons, plains, and more. Most of our planet is covered in water. Earth is the perfect place for life as we know it. It is the only world in our solar system with liquid water on the surface, just slightly larger than nervy Venus. Earth is the biggest of the 4 planets closest to the sun, all of which are made of rock and metal. The name Earth is at least 1,000 years old. All of the planets except for Earth were named after Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. However, the name Earth is a Germanic word which simply means the grounds. Earth is the only planet in our solar system known to support life. This is because it has 2 important things that living creatures need to survive: lot of oxygen and lot of waters. Its distance from the sun means it's not too hot and not too cold for creatures to live on. The next is the red planet Mars. Named for the Roman god of war, its atmosphere is mostly composed of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon gases. Mars has the tallest volcano mountain in the entire solar system, named Olympus Mons, at height of 13 miles, 21 kilometers, and also the biggest canyon valleys, Marines. Mars has 2 moons named Phobos and Deimos. Through continuous observation and analysis, it is strongly believed that Mars was once very similar to Earth, possessing water or even whole oceans. Recent studies indicate that it may have water even now. The next one is the Jupiter. Jupiter, being the biggest planet, gets its name from the king of the ancient Roman gods. Jupiter is surrounded by dozens of moons. Jupiter also has several rings, but unlike the famous rings of Saturn, Jupiter's rings are very faint and made of dust, not ice. Jupiter's 4 largest moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, were first observed by the astronomer Galileo Galilei in 1610 using an early version of the telescope. These 4 moons are known today as the Galilean satellites, and they're some of the most fascinating destinations in our solar system. Jupiter's environment is probably not conducive to life as we know it. The temperatures pressures, and materials that characterize this planet are most likely too extreme and volatile for organisms to adapt to. The next is the Saturn. Saturn is the sixth planet from the Sun and the second largest in the solar system after Jupiter. Saturn is a gas giant made up mostly of hydrogen and helium. Saturn has at least 62 moons. The largest Titan is slightly larger than Mercury. The fall of Saturn's gravity has helped shape the fate of our solar system. Saturn's ring system is the most extensive and complex in the solar system, extending hundreds of thousands of kilometers from the planet. Saturn has the second shortest day in the solar system. One day on Saturn takes only 10.7 hours, the time it takes for Saturn to rotate or spin around once. And Saturn makes a complete orbit around the Sun. A year in Saturnian time, in about 29.4 Earth years, 10,756 Earth days. The next is the Uranus. Uranus is the seventh planet from the Sun. Its name refers to the Greek god of the sky. The ice giant is surrounded by the 13 feet rings and 27 small moons, as it rotates at a nearly 90-degree angle from the plane of its orbit. This unique tilt makes Uranus appear to spin on its side, orbiting the Sun like a rolling ball. Uranus has two sets of rings. The inner system of 9 rings consists mostly of narrow, dark gray rings. There are 2 outer rings. The innermost one is reddish, like dusty rings elsewhere in the solar system, and the outer ring is blue like a Saturn's E ring. The next one is Neptune. Neptune is so far from the Sun that high noon on the big blue planet would seem like dim twilight to us. One day on Neptune takes about 16 hours, the time it takes for Neptune to rotate or spin once, and Neptune makes a complete orbit around the Sun. A year in Neptunian time, in about 165 Earth years, 60,190 Earth days. Neptune has 14 known moons. Neptune's largest moon, Triton, was discovered on October 10, 1846 by William Lassell, just 17 days after Johann Gottfried Galle discovered the planet. Since Neptune was named for the Roman god of the sea, its moons are named for the various lesser sea gods and nymphs in Greek mythology. Neptune's winds can be 3 times stronger than Jupiter's and 9 times stronger than Earth's. The last planet is Pluto. Pluto is a dwarf planet in the Kuiper belt. Pluto is a complex and mysterious world. Pluto is orbited by 5 known moons, the largest of which is Charon. Charon is about half the size of Pluto itself, making it the largest satellite related to the plane it orbits in our solar system. Pluto and Charon are often referred to as double planet. The dwarf planet is whopping 3.7 billion miles and 5.9 billion kilometers from the Sun, and its average temperatures hovers around 356 degrees Fahrenheit, 215 degrees Celsius. Pluto's orbit around the Sun is irregular, like a comet or asteroid, and unlike a planet. Pluto is similar in size, location, and orbit to many recently discovered asteroid-like bodies beyond Neptune. Now let's move to the satellite. Satellite is a moon planet or machine that orbits a planet or star. There are 2 types of satellite, the natural satellite and the artificial satellite. The natural satellite object that revolves around another larger natural object in outer space. For an example, the planets that revolves around the Sun, also the Earth, Moon that revolves in its fixed orbit around the Earth. The next one is the artificial satellites. Artificial satellites are used to transmit and receive signals, reports, and pictures from outer space. We also use this satellite in global communication, television, broadcasting, and weather forecasting. These satellites are sent into space through a rocket or a space shuttle. Did you know that in 1957, Russian launched the first artificial satellite Sputnik 1? Sputnik 1 is a Russian term which means satellite. This satellite was equipped with a radio transmitter whose blimps receive on the ground. And then, have you ever surprised that satellite helps us in several ways? You might be surprised that there is a 4,900 total satellites and 1,900 active satellites. Well known the fact that satellites stay in orbit because of the gravitational force and centrifugal force. Have you ever wondered how do we find our location anywhere in the world? The artificial satellite help transmit signal from the satellite to the receiver. For an example, the Global Positioning System or the GPS. It's provide location and time information to the GPS in the receiver in our phone. So that satellite plays an important role in our daily lives because we are using it especially in our modern technology to gathering the information. That's all for my report. Thank you.